You know, years ago I started hitting things for a living, and that was like through drums and music. And I made a really good living out of teaching people how to play drums and percussion and that sort of thing. But no, like I think for people sitting there just wanting, you know, obviously it's a dying world and it's a fallen world, but God really commissions us to come through, use the gifts that He's given us, and for that exact reason, to bring kingdom, you know, heaven to earth.
So if you would give some advice to people that are just in that waiting stage, what would that advice be?
Yeah, I think just in that moment of thought, you know, just get around people who will actually inspire you to do that, and to like Genesis 1:28 or whatever it was. You know, just small steps, go forward, multiply what's in your hand. You know, so often people go and compare themselves to other people and try and do what someone else is doing. And you know, many times in my life, people have, you know, tried to copy our business model or whatever. But just use what God's given in your hand. We're all unique. We're all different. We're all got different DNA. So really use that. Small steps forward to find who you are and to move forward that way. And to find people in your industry, find people in your community who can actually inspire and help you, to motivate you to actually do those things, to move forward. You know, doing life is lonely sometimes, doing business is lonely sometimes. But I'll just start with the Bible. The Bible's the key message, and that's the key starting point, I think. And just going through like Psalms and Proverbs and those sort of books that can actually, it's the best business book in the world is the Bible. And just learning, you know, reading through Proverbs and those sort of things, you can start with those messages and those little nuggets of hope and gold that you can take forward. So understanding that the Bible is a great business tool. So starting into that place, but you know, and then you've got the practicality of that, which is knowing your craft and crafting that, you know, just really just like yourself, like telling stories and those sort of things, and finding those giftings, you know, telling, like I speak to our kids, we homeschool our kids. I speak to the kids, you know, we teach them English and maths and all these things. I'm like, you got to understand and start to understand personal brand, and actually telling your story, and actually understanding and going to the depths of that, so you can actually appreciate who you are, but to tell that story. And out of that, you'll be amazed at actually what comes through that can actually build on what you're doing.
And I think I like what you said about, you know, reading the Word, reading the Bible, because there's a scripture in there that leads me beside still waters and refreshes my soul. So I think, you know, how can we take what's in the Bible and like do that, like walk it out, you know, coming out here?
Yeah, I think the Bible is such a practical tool just to follow. I mean, God commands us to follow Him and follow the Bible and to understand His teachings and I guess put them into practice. So by doing these things, like getting into nature, you know, what Against the Tide stands for, just getting out away from the 9 to 5 and just really connecting with God through nature, through friends, you know, through relationship. You know, God wanted, and it comes back to God, like God wanted relationship with us. You know, back in the Garden of Eden, He wanted connection. He wanted that, but we stuffed it up, right? But I think that's where I think this is with Against the Tide, for example. We wanted just to get back to community, get back to nature, and get back to that Garden of Eden moment, which really has inspired me to do this. Not only as a childhood dream to start a surf brand and start, you know, another venture type brand, but just to get back to nature and get back to this and building community and building friends and building relationship, because that's really, over the years, that's really what's empowered me, in my own relationships with my family and my friends. We're only here for a short time, but we've got to do it with purpose and depth of volume to impact a generation. That's pretty much what we're about. Seeing my son just wakeboard yesterday for the first time, that was really cool. And that's just sowing the seed into the next generation and inspiring them just to keep doing, by taking our kids and everyone's kids out to do these sort of things. It's just really, I didn't have this opportunity as a kid, so I'm really thankful that we're blessed and we can do this type of thing. But it's all about, connecting, the dots with people, relationships, and bringing it back to God and just actually appreciating what's around us.